There we go.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to our Anne of Green Gables Book 5 discussion for Anne's House of Dreams. Oops. I blurred my background, so I hope it doesn't blur the book.
Yeah.
There we go. Again, Emily has the prettier cover that I must get. I found the set that you posted. For some reason, I can't get the box set on Amazon Canada, but all of the individual books are available.
Oh, interesting.
So we'll see. And they're all like 5, 8 books or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I don't need it. Anyway.
Right. Well, it's good to know it's there if
Yeah.
you wanted to update your collection.
Yeah. Anyway, but yes, welcome everyone who is here. Welcome to those joining after the fact replay. Appreciate you watching. Yeah, so we have Anne's House of Dreams, Book 5. We have Anne and Gilbert finally are married. They're married.
And they get married in this book too, which was so nice to actually see the wedding.
Yeah, yes. We can talk about that after. I appreciated that as well. Yeah, so it's a very slow burn relationship.
Yes.
But we can get to our comments here. So this is my husband who commented at like 4:30 that I only saw like 5 minutes ago when I came on.
Oh, that's funny.
He's supportive.
He's just making sure that everything is working.
Yeah, very supportive. And hello, Sock. Thanks for joining us. I did see on Goodreads, Sock was actually reading the book this time, but I don't know if you finished it, Sock, so let us know. And Lisa, hello, Lisa.
Hi,
welcome.
Lisa.
It's nice to have you. I feel like it's been a while, Lisa. We haven't been able to see you, but I'm glad that you're here tonight. Sock says slow burn and then fast. This book covers like 2 years or so and then really go through a lot. Yeah, there's a lot that happens. I guess it must be 2 years, or it's definitely over a year for sure.
Yeah. I think it is 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking through, she had 2 pregnancies.
Yeah. So that really helps your timeline for sure.
Yeah.
And she took a while. Anyway, we'll get to that though. Yeah, and you did finish it. Fantastic.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so there's a whole thing about the format. I've been reading it that makes a big difference. Oh, good to know. Yeah, the format can really make a difference for sure. So I hope that this time was better for you. That's true. All right. Well, we might as well start. What was our overall enjoyment of the book, star rating, or just vibes for, I know Sock doesn't like to rate books, so just how you felt about the book.
Do you want to go first?
I can go first, sure.
Yeah,
I gave this one 5 stars. I liked it so much better than the last book because it just, there was more plot. There was a lot of plot.
Yes.
But also I really, really loved all of the new characters that we met, and I loved that they all had their own individual stories happening.
Yeah.
But also they were just really funny really funny characters to hang out with a lot. So I really had a good time with this one.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm back up to my 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
Which is what I've rated every other book except for the last one. And kind of similar to you, I'm trying to figure out like a concise way to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so different than the others, but in like such a good way. Like it was different in that, we weren't in Avonlea.
We were for a tiny bit.
Yes, we did go back, which was nice. And then we started in Avonlea too, because where they actually move. So, but it was just like this whole new town, which I guess is similar to the other books 3 and 4.
Yeah, right.
But there was just something about it that just felt like calmer and like smaller. Like there was like what, 4 or 5 main characters, where I feel like in the past books it's just been like a really big ensemble cast, which has been fun, but this was like such a change of pace that I really liked it. So and I really liked the inclusion of the other characters and their storylines. Like I feel like they were like fully fleshed out. I thought it was like really well done.
Yeah, good. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's interesting that you describe it as like calmer, because it's like this book is in a way, this book is very busy. There's so much happening, but I think it's a strength of it. It helps. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it was the setting that was calm to me. Like just her being like right on the water like that. Right. And then I just feel like the town was a bit more remote than the other places that she's lived. Yeah. But it just kind of felt like a touch slower pace to me in like I don't even know how to describe it. But it just
I think I know what you're trying to say though.
Yeah. And I really liked it. So
yeah. Good. All right, we'll see how other people liked it. Where did I leave off? Oh yeah, Sock's format. So I have an ebook that's all 9 volumes in one file. It makes it feel like it's taking forever. Oh yeah, that would. Yeah. This time I got a physical copy and it was a much better reading experience. Good. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually read like ebooks that are just like the whole series is together, because that always looks overwhelming to me. And I feel like you're never finished. So that's really fantastic. I don't know if you put this later, Sock, but let me know what the 9th volume is. I have a feeling I know which one it is, but it's probably one of the like extra Avonlea books, I think. Because as far as I'm aware, there is only 8 Anne books.
Yeah. It's funny, before we started, I was just looking at the inside flap of my book.
Yeah.
And it tells you like the whole series in order, but then it says there's Christmas with Anne, and I was like, wait a second, there's a Christmas book? What? I don't know. It says Christmas.
I don't have that in mine. I don't have that in mine.
Christmas with Anne. I feel like we need to Google it.
Yeah.
Because
figure out what that is.
I want to read that, whatever that is.
Yeah. unless that's in, because there's 2 separate other books that are like Chronicles of Avonlea, and then like I don't know, Further Chronicles of Avonlea or something like that. So I wonder if it's something in there, because I have one of those, but I haven't read those. But yes, investigate, find what Christmas of Anne is, because I don't know that. So that'd be fun. Sock says 4 stars. Yay! Sock finally enjoyed it. I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad you were able to find a way to enjoy it. And Lisa says, I really enjoyed this one. Yay! It felt like a return to form. The new characters were so much better. I would go 4.5 stars. Yay! Yeah. We're gonna get to all the new characters later, because there's a lot going on with them too. Mm-hmm. Question for Megan: did you go to whatever the inspiration for this town is? No. So this one we'll get to takes place in Four Winds Harbor. I don't actually know if that's a real place, to be honest, because I never heard anything about that or like seen it on the map or anything. So it could either be a made-up place, or it's just actually really, really small and I didn't hear about it. But I did not.
It says it's fictional.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I went to a lot of different harbor areas, so I could like imagine, but
yeah.
No. Sock says, I loved how Cornelia really had it for Methodist, but apparently the town doesn't have any Anglican. Yeah, we'll get to Cornelia.
And Presbyterians, those are the only 2.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, because when I was in PEI, like it is like their 2 biggest sort of religions of the island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was probably actually really big, like rivalry, I'm sure. But we will get to Cornelia, that character, and they were kind of remote from the town. Yes. So it was a very, very remote location, which even like we hear at the end, like Gilbert says, like you know, it's actually made like his job as a doctor hard because he's so far away from everyone. So that's why, you know, we'll get to the why they need to leave, but it's both Chronicles and Further Chronicles. Okay, that's what I thought the ninth volume is, because that those are like, they're not supposed to be like officially part of the series, but I do know that there is like Anne is in those, but then there's like other characters too. I haven't read it. I think I just own Chronicles of Avonlea, so I'm excited to read that and see what that is. Cool. Okay, so
it is a collection of 12 short stories taking place in the town.
All right. I wonder if the Christmas with Anne is in that.
I wonder. I don't know. You should Google it because the cover for Christmas with Anne is so pretty.
I've never heard of this though, so we will investigate at the end.
I gotta show you right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, wait. Let me. No. Okay, now I know how B feels. No. Okay, this is the best I can do right now.
Christmas with Anne. Oh,
cute.
She's so cute.
Nice. Okay, let's go back there. Yeah, so I'm glad that everyone enjoyed it. So let's talk about the beginning of the book. Like I said, Anne and Gilbert finally get married. We get to go back to Avonlea. We see actually quite a few characters from previous books, guests that come and stay for the wedding. The wedding. It's so nice. I thought it was so cute that like they got married at Green Gables.
Yeah.
Like that was cute. That was cute. For sure.
I did like that.
Yeah.
And there was some quote. Was it blanking on her name. I know her name. The woman that lives with Marilla.
Oh, Mrs. Lynch?
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Lynch. Yes, she was saying that like, oh, a house isn't a home until you've had like a wedding, a baby, and a death in the home, and like this is the first wedding at Green Gables.
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh, I love that. I thought that was so sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, just love it. Now I'm like going back to my notes to just remember everything because so we see Anne and Diana in the Green Gables, just like they were together before Diana's wedding. She's helping Anne get ready. I thought it was interesting though that this is like very small, but like Anne mentions how she's not having any bridesmaids because all of her friends that she would have had are married now, so they're like they can't be bridesmaids because they're not maids anymore. And I was just like, oh, I guess that was a thing before. Like no one cares. Whereas like when I got married, 3 out of 5 of mine were married. One was already engaged. Like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was so nice to see them get married. They got married in September.
I want to know what day they got married because I also got married in September. So I was like, I wonder if we have the same anniversary.
That'd be so fun. Yeah, I don't even know if. Yeah,
I don't know if it's like a well-known thing.
Yeah, I don't think it said what day it was.
Yeah.
I just remember like because she was talking about like how pretty it was outside and everything. Well, also I guess like we had to wait like the 3 months after the last book for Gilbert to be home and stuff. We see lots of characters from previous books. So we see Paul Irving and Miss Lavender, or Mrs. Irving now as she is called. But Lavender and Paul Irving. I thought it was interesting how we didn't see any of the Redmond girls. Anne mentions them, but she says how like all of them have different reasons that they can't come or something like that.
Yeah.
So that would have been cool though to have them there.
Yeah, that would have been neat.
And who else was it? I feel like there was someone else that was there, but I don't remember. I don't remember. But anyways, Yeah, so they get married, and then they basically leave right away, and they get on their train or whatever to go to their new home, the House of Dreams that Anne keeps calling it. So Gilbert has found this little house in Four Winds Harbor that they've been able to rent. So they leave right away after their wedding. They take a train. They get there in the evening, I guess. And then there's the neighbors and some people there to greet them, and had I think they had dinner ready for them too, which that's nice. Because after, I don't know, now I've been married now, I remember that would be a very long, stressful day.
And Anne said she wanted to honeymoon essentially in her new town. She didn't use the term honeymoon. It was something similar, but she was saying how she didn't want to go anywhere. She wanted to start their life together at the House of Dreams and stuff. So I thought that was cute.
Yeah, for sure. Which honestly probably was really nice. That they just took some time to get settled into their new place. I know it said Gilbert took a week or two off or whatever, didn't start work right away, but so it was probably very nice. But yeah, so they get their new location, Four Winds Harbor, very remote town. We know that there's it seemed, from what I can understand, it seemed like it's almost two sides of a harbor almost. So Four Winds is the more remote side, and then the other side is where more of the people are, more of where Gilbert goes to do his doctoring as well. So I know you sort of mentioned it a little bit before, Emily, of our new location, but what did you think of Four Winds?
It was very really calm. Liked it. Yeah, it was very atmospheric, I feel like. And moody almost. I kind of felt and maybe it was just the harbor itself, the water, the idea,
right.
I liked Captain Jim and his lighthouse, I had this very atmospheric visual in my mind of what it looked like. And it just felt it felt like a good place for her to start their new life together. I don't know how to describe it other than in the other books she's almost going to a new place for a short period of time, right? She's going to college or she's going to teach for a few years, but she's always going to come back, right? She's always going to come back after college, obviously come back home, and then in the fourth book she was going to come back because Gilbert was going to be done school and they were going to get married. But this was the first time where it was oh, she's going to go out, this is their life. Who knows what's going to happen? Where they're that's true. They could stay here, who knows? But so there was just almost a permanency, if that's the right word, to it. And it just felt they were establishing their new life together and making their own friends. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's such a good way to put it. Yeah, because you're right. Anne has her own home now for the first time. She gets to sort of settle in and make it a home, and she tends to her garden, she says, outside now, that she loves. And she's really she's you said, she doesn't know if this is forever, how long. She's settling in sort of for the long haul this time. But
which, spoiler alert at the end of the book. Is very sad and does not want to leave. Even though she knows that they've outgrown the home, she loves it so much. And I love that. For her. I love that she just put down roots. I mean, she always does that, right? But I
Yeah.
just love that she really made it their own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll get to some comments here. Sucks. Is getting married outdoors? Is that even legal? Honestly, I had that thought too for a minute because I was like, aren't they supposed to be married in the church? But
Right.
apparently not. Apparently it's fine because now that I think about it, Diana was also married at Diana's house. But, so maybe not. Maybe it's fine. Did you mention Jane Andrews? Oh no. Yeah, you're right. We see
Yeah.
Jane and her
Mhm.
rich husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It felt very PEI. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Like I saw it on my cruise ship when we were going by the island. Yeah, like I think because even though Four Winds Harbor is fictional, I think it's a stand-in for any harbor on PEI. Really, like it's
Yeah.
any harbor town really that you're familiar with. That small coastal, remote feeling.
Mhm.
But because it's remote, it is a good place to really get used to a new life that they're starting
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah. All right. So we'll go over all of our new characters more in depth, but really quickly, just did
Oh my
did you
gosh.
have a particular favorite new character? We've got Captain Jim for a lighthouse, Miss Cornelia, one of the neighbors or something, Leslie Moore,
Yeah.
another neighbor. Susan, she comes in at the end. She's the maid or housekeeper that's helping Anne take care of stuff. And then we
Mhm.
have Owen Ford who boards later on in the book. Lots of happening, but
Oh
really
my god.
quick, do you have a
I
favorite?
mean, I love them all. I
Yeah,
love them all. Okay, if I had to choose, oh gosh,
I
that's so
know.
hard.
I know
I
that's what I
think
mean. Like this book was really good with all the new characters. Each one was very strong.
yes, yes, and then I'm gonna have to say Captain Jim, but honorary
Mm.
mention to Miss Cornelia because she was cracking me up the whole
I know.
story.
And then
Just
like
like a
when
man, like
yeah, and then when Jim and Cornelia get into it back and forth, and he like
yes.
starts taunting her.
And I
No.
loved Leslie. Like, I just
Oh,
loved her storyline. I mean, obviously, she went through, really hard things in life. Like, I feel
yeah.
really bad for her, but, like, I just was so invested in her as a
Hmm.
character. And then, obviously, the other side of the coin is Owen Ford with that. So,
Mm.
to answer
Hmm.
it, all of them. But, like, if I
Right.
really, really had to choose just one, it would be Captain Jim
Okay.
because,
I think I'm
I
gonna go
mean,
with him too. I
okay.
think. I love Miss Cornelia. She's so funny. But I think, yeah, because Captain Jim, we meet him like right away. He's there to welcome Anne and Gilbert. I think Miss
Yeah.
Cornelia is there too, and like the other Gilbert's like uncle and stuff meets them. But
Mhm.
like Captain Jim, we sort of meet right away, and I just like he was just such a lovely soul every time,
He
and
really was.
his whole story. But we'll get into each character later because I sort of broke it up by character and plot because there's so much going on and I didn't know how to organize all of our thoughts. Lisa says, "How do I choose?" True. I love Captain Jim. Yeah, Captain Jim is just lovely. Okay, so there's so many characters. So we'll start off with Leslie's story, just the beginning of her story. We find out she's married very young to a man named Dick Moore. He leaves and goes off to the Caribbean, I want to say, somewhere
Yeah.
down there, somewhere in
Mhm.
that vicinity.
Maybe
Uh,
Florida, but yeah,
yeah,
somewhere. I
somewhere
can't
down,
remember
somewhere
either.
south.
Somewhere
He
south.
goes south. Anyway, he leaves and goes south for a few years, and then Captain Jim finds him and brings him back home. And when he comes back, though, it's clear that something has happened to affect him mentally, to affect his memory, to affect his personality, his like competency, basically. So he's not the same man when he comes back. He's very I don't know, they sort of describe it like he's almost like a child like again.
Mm-hmm.
And so now Leslie has been stuck now for a few years at least, basically as the caregiver, taking care of him, which has been hard for her because he was very horrible and mean to her before he left when they got married. And now she she doesn't really want to take care of him because it's not out of any love or anything. But at the same time, the way he is now, like, is nicer than what he was before, and
Right.
she feels like obligated to, especially considering his mental state that he can't be alone.
Yeah.
So Leslie has become very, very jaded, very bitter. She's very young. She's only like in her 20s, I think, still.
Yeah. Well, and she had a tough upbringing because her dad died, right? And then was it a brother or something?
Yeah.
But then the mom was gonna lose the house if she didn't marry Dick Moore. So like she really it was an arranged marriage. She was forced into it. He was mean to her.
Yeah.
And then, when he was gone, there was like, oh, maybe he died and he wasn't going to come back.
Right.
And then Captain Jim found him and he came back. And then, there was this like resentment that now she has to take care of him. But like you said, it's kind of, at least he's not the same way as he was. So like, in a sense, she's really caring for him as a dependent rather than like caring.
Yes, that's a good word. Yes. Yeah. For sure. For sure. We'll get to some comments here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Leslie, I think we'll go with... Oh, Leslie is your favorite character. All right. Very fair. Very fair. Jim found him in Havana, Cuba. Thank you.
Now.
Thank you. Sock says she's stuck and also can't have a baby, which might have made her feel better. Yes. So she's also... We see later on, she's also very jealous and bitter of Anne's opportunities that she feels have been taken away from her, that she hasn't been able to live the life she'd wanted. She kept finding bodies, must have been traumatizing. Yes, so she witnesses her brother die. She finds her father, trigger warning, hung himself in the sitting room. So she finds both of them. So it's, very traumatizing for her. And then, like you said, Emily, like, arranged marriage very young. So life has not been kind. So the beginning of her story, this is how we meet her. A lot of horrible things. There's way more to her story, which we'll go through. We'll get to. But getting to Captain Jim now. Captain Jim's story. So he's the keeper of the lighthouse, as we said. He knew the original builders of the House of Dreams. Which, side note, I forgot to mention, I thought it was really cool how when they first get there, they learn the history of the house and like who lived there and like the other brides that were there. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
Gives the house character.
The house is like definitely a character of itself.
Yeah. So Captain Jim knew the original builders. He's lived a very exciting life because he's a former sailor, I suppose. So he's been to so many different places. He always has these crazy stories that he just tells us like, oh, matter of fact, this happened. No big deal.
You'd be such a good dinner party. Because you just have like best stories.
So that's the thing, right? He has these amazing stories that he's so good at telling, and he's written them all down in what he calls his life book. But he's better at telling the story than like writing it down. So he really wants someone to publish his life book and sort of fix it up, so to speak. So that's his little dream in this book, basically. Yeah. So like I said, I really loved how like Leslie, Captain Jim, each of these people have their own backgrounds, their own stories, their own hopes and dreams that's carrying them through. So beginning of the book, right, we're meeting all the characters. However, we do have a very, very sad situation, I suppose. So we see throughout the beginning of the book mentions and tidbits that we realize that, you know, Anne is pregnant and she's so excited. She's looking forward to this and she's happy. And then the time comes that Anne gives birth in June.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear and realize that it was a very, very hard labor, a very scary time for, in terms of, what am I trying to say? Like Anne's life was in danger at some point.
Yeah.
It was very touch and go. It was very scary. She gives birth to a little girl named Joyce or Joy.
Mm-hmm.
But however, the baby is not strong enough and dies after only one day, which is heartbreaking. It's like a paragraph about the birth and then a few paragraphs later about the baby dying. So it's very a very back and forth of emotions in that one page, basically. So it is very, definitely would be a trigger warning for sure.
Yeah, I haven't looked up trigger warnings while reading it, or like any major spoilers of any sort.
Yeah.
Like honestly, until this book, I haven't even read the back of like what the book is about. I just go in and I start reading it.
Yeah.
And so I shouldn't be surprised that Ellen Montgomery puts in these really hard things, because she's also put in really hard things, you know, earlier in the series. But
yeah.
I mean, I was just so sad. I was just heartbroken for Anne.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a very short, like they don't spend a lot of time on it, right? Like the actual events of it happening. Like you said, like she's giving birth and then all of a sudden, you know, the baby doesn't make it. But like even the way that it was written, you could kind of tell like, oh, something bad is happening.
Yeah.
Like, Gilbert was very concerned about it. You know, Marilla's there with all these things. But yeah, it was just, you know, especially for it to be her first child, like it was just so sad. And I think I'll just speak from my experience, like reading the classics now, you know, our lives are so different that like I feel like having something like this happen in modern days, while it does happen, it might not be as maybe as common as it might have happened at the time that this book was written. And so it was just very shocking to be like, oh my gosh, like that's just like a major storyline. And then we like, not that we just move on, because I think the author does a good job of like having Anne grieve it for a while and you know, all of that. But it was just the same, like when one of Anne's friends passes away, like earlier in the series. And I was just like, we're just gonna
Ruby,
have her die off, Ruby, you know. And so it could just be one of those things where it's like, as a modern reader into the older text, it's like maybe it's just like it was a different time. And like, while of course,
as sad as it is, like it was common, you know, like
like as heartbreaking as it is, you know, if it happened, it wouldn't be as unusual. But like for me, I was like, oh my gosh, poor Anne has been traumatized, you know, like, oh gosh. So that was like one of the saddest parts of the book for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Same. Because I don't remember like anything from these books clearly after the first like one or two. Like, so I completely did not remember this, because if I did, I would have put some sort of trigger warning without spoiling somehow. But yeah, so it was shocking for me too, and very, very sad. Yeah, because like you said, like it, you know, there's just so much more like medical knowledge and advancement now that like if you're in like a hospital, or even if you give birth at home, like if something is wrong, like there's more available to help the baby live. Like there's better I can't think of words apparently, but you know what I mean? Like
but like technology, I mean, they didn't have
there's
incubators.
preemie care. Yeah, preemie care
Right.
and everything, right?
Yeah.
Like there's so much that possibly could have been done, not always, but possibly could have been done if that had happened now. But yeah, so it was very, very heartbreaking for Anna and Gilbert, because I mean, also, like, we see this from Anne's perspective. Of course, she's traumatized, she's grieving very long, but also, like, I don't want to forget Gilbert's trauma through all of this too, because, like, as a doctor as well, like, he realized something was wrong right away. He knew, and so he had to, like, sort of watch and hear Anne's horrible labor and also realize something was wrong with his daughter, his baby, right away, and then have to tell Anne what happened, and just just horrible.
So sad. Well, and then for Gilbert, like, if Anne were to die,
right,
then he would have lost both of them, so just so sad all around. But it was a very, like, sombering scene and impactful, but, like, and I don't know if we're gonna talk about this later, but it was interesting because I almost did have a thought about Leslie in that moment of, like, oh, like, Anne is kind of getting a taste of, like,
so we sort of see that after
that Leslie has faced, right? And then Leslie says later on, like, not that of course she wishes that had happened, but as a result of it, she found it easier for her to relate to Anne because it in Leslie's eyes made Anne less perfect, right?
Yeah,
like, it made her more human.
Yeah, it, like, equalized them in some way.
Yeah.
Because, like, we know that Anne had a very horrible childhood and stuff, but definitely nowhere near as bad as Leslie, I would say. And like, Leslie doesn't know that, right? She just sees Anne as this perfect woman coming through who has everything that Leslie wanted and dreamed of. And even we see that too when Anne tells Leslie beforehand, like, that she's pregnant. She's so excited. And, like, Leslie's, like, mad. Like, she's upset because she's like, you have everything. Like, you get everything that I wanted. But then, of course, like, we see Leslie's reaction after that. Like, Leslie is now also heartbroken with Anne and for Anne. And just, it was an emotional chapter for sure. So we'll get to some of the comments here, though. Sock says, I liked how Montgomery handled Anne's and Gilbert's grief. Yeah, the whole thing about her child not recognizing her in the afterlife, yes, and then realizing, oh, there's no way we wouldn't know each other. Oh, gosh, yeah, that was heartbreaking. Yeah, and like, the grief was very well depicted, I think, because it takes Anne a really long time to not get over, but even be able to talk about it and acknowledge it and like, even start to, like, just heal physically herself, because we see how much it took a toll on her physical well-being, and then the grief, and like, wanting her baby, and just, so much, so sad. Lisa says 100% there was much more death and grief in the early 20th century. Yeah, like, it's hard because it's like, and I feel like we've probably heard about this happening to, like, other minor side characters that we meet, like, oh, in the past or something. But, like, this is, we've seen it on page, we've experienced it now, that, like, oh, like, I don't know, being alive, giving birth was actually, like, a really big deal. It's still a big deal, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's very risky, for sure. Sock says, I think that this kind of thing hits differently when you're an adult than when you're reading it as a child. Yes, for sure. For sure. And even just, like, like, depending on what stage of life you are in. If you're younger, if you're trying to have kids, if you're already a mother, like, or the father, like, it just, no matter where you are, this scene will cut you wide open. Okay, so, but we'll move on, though. So after that, we have some forbidden love that comes into town. So Leslie decides, I think Miss Cordelia asks her something. Someone asks her if she wants to take on a boarder, which she does sometimes to make some extra money. So Leslie takes in a boarder named Owen Ford. He's the grandson of the House of Dreams original owners. So he wants to come back and see where his grandparents lived, I think it was his mother who grew up in the House of Dreams. So he's coming back to like get back to his family and his roots and discover all of that. However, while he's there, he eventually falls in love with Leslie. Leslie falls in love with him. Neither one of them really let the other know because obviously Leslie is still married to Dick Moore. Yep. And so Leslie is not available. Mm-hmm. And so Owen, eventually at the end, Owen, leaves to go back to his life. And it's very hard for him and it's very hard for Leslie. And they're both heartbroken. And so much wrapped up in that.
Yeah. I loved this whole storyline. I did. I really did. I was not expecting any of it. Mm-hmm. I thought the way that it happened was so real. And mm-hmm. I knew when it happened. Like I knew when Owen talked to Anne before he left and said,
"Oh yes, yeah,
Leslie." I was like, they are somehow going to end up together. Because I was like, Ella Montgomery would not put in this book if they were not going to end up together. So I was like, how on earth is this going to happen? And I just thought it was so good. Just like I loved all of it.
We'll get to how it unfolds in a minute. Our bombshell in the book, but but
I loved Owen's tie. I mean, obviously he's the grandson of the original owners, but like I really liked Owen's relationship with Captain Jim and mm-hmm. Obviously how that story unfolds too. Because when he comes, he's like, I want to write the next great I don't even know, Canadian novel. Like he's like, I want to write the next big novel. And mm-hmm. Obviously so then it like plants in his mind like he's a writer, and obviously Captain Jim is telling the stories like when they all hang out in the evenings and stuff. But I loved that storyline as well.
Because even though Owen comes in later, like he's a fleshed out character. He has his own goal like he wants to do, right? He has his own storyline as well, which is great. But they fall in love, and like you said, like Owen confesses to Anne before he leaves that like he loves her, but I can't have her, and he's like, it would be easier if I knew at least she was happy, but she's not happy, and I can make her happy. But and then of course after he leaves, Anne finds Leslie on the beach, and Leslie's like, I love him. What am I supposed to do? Like this is not fair. So much happening.
And I love how they both confide in Anne, of course.
And then Gilbert
Anne is a perfect confidant.
No, she's like, I can't reveal anything to anyone now.
She's like, I won't tell Gilbert, and she does it. I was like, okay, Anne, good job.
But you can tell it's like killing her. She's like,
I know.
I know things. But oh man, Sock says, I like the symmetry of Jim's friendship with Owen's grandfather and then with Owen himself. That's a cool aspect that, he does. Because as soon as I think he sees Owen or something, either he sees him or something, and he recognizes like his face or like his mannerisms right away. And he's like, I know you, I like you. And then it's revealed. He's like, oh my gosh.
What does he say? You're cut from the cloth of Joseph, the house of Joseph.
Oh, that's right.
That's
the
house of Joseph or something.
They're like, it's like their way of saying like kindred spirits or something. And I forget. I forget the exact phrase. I'm sure someone will say, but yeah, it's like you're of the house of Joseph or something like that, which is just
Yeah.
like you're a kindred spirit in some ways. Like you, we get each other. We're friends.
Right.
But, yeah. And Lisa says, when Owen visits Anne before he leaves and confesses his love, I loved that scene. Yeah, very good. Very good scene. Sock says, I was like, they are not murdering Dickie. And they didn't. Ella Montgomery had a very clever way of getting out of this, because I was worried about that too.
I thought that's what was going to happen. I thought he was going to die in surgery.
Yeah, which seems like the most just obvious, like, these things happen, unfortunately, right?
Right.
But we'll get to that in a minute. Of course, we later find out that Jim is kind of not great at identifying people. Yeah. Well, to be fair, it wasn't totally his fault, but people of Joseph, yeah. I wrote in my reading journal, I should take a picture of that page for Discord. Yes. Yes. All right. Well, since we were skirting around it, so it comes up. Gilbert says that, you know, he's been reading and he's like, I really think that there's a surgery, and I think it could help cure Dick Moore. It could help him, bring him back to his former self, make him better. And everyone's like, why would you suggest that? Why do we want to bring him back? He was horrible before. Like, it's just make Leslie's life even worse. But Gilbert sticks to his guns because he's like, no, as a doctor, it's my responsibility that if I think someone can be fixed or cured, I have a responsibility to at least inform them. And it will be, I can tell Leslie all I know, and it will be up to her to decide. And everyone, including Anne, is very mad with him and does not agree with him. And Anne is really upset with him. But I like, though, also that at least, like, in front of Miss Cordelia, she does, like, take Gilbert's side and will defend him, even though Anne doesn't agree. I did appreciate that.
I love that too. She was like, I just recalled all the points that he told me.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so Leslie decides, she almost doesn't, but she does decide to let Dick Moore have the surgery, brings him to, I want to say Montreal. Montreal, probably. And they go in and have the surgery. And Sock says, I liked Gilbert's ethics, like his duty is to the patient. Yeah. And that's what Gilbert said. Like, he's like, now that I know there's an option, I can't not say anything, which was very admirable of him. And finally, our big reveal, the big what moment of the book, surprise! Dick Moore is actually George Moore, his cousin, the whole time. The real Dick Moore, died years ago, so technically, Leslie's free! Yay! Oh, man. Yeah, did not see this coming at all.
Nope. I was so surprised. I mean, like I said, I knew that somehow, some way they would get together, but I did not know how we would get there. And I don't even know how Ella Montgomery came up with this.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, especially like the time she's writing in, I don't think there was too many, like, this is slightly more common now in books. Like, you wouldn't be totally, like, I feel like this trope or whatever has happened more often since then. Yeah. But probably when she was writing, this was, like, mind-blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. And in Jim's defense, when they were younger, they looked like just like siblings.
Yeah, and they both have the different colored eyes, I think. Yeah. Which is what Captain Jim used to be like, oh, I know it's for sure Dick Moore because you have the different eyes. Because how many people have that?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is definitely a creative way to free Leslie. But also, like, because I was telling Emily before, like, I was really worried they were going to kill Dick off, because to me that just seemed like the most obvious way. But it also raises a very sticky ethical question of, if we killed him off when he's like mentally incapacitated at this stage, like, what does that say about people who are like have like a mental disability or anything like that? Like, I was really worried that would muddy
like
the
maybe
book,
that didn't translate well over time.
So I was just really worried about that. But instead, we just have a mistaken identity trope, I suppose.
Yeah.
So if anyone has that on a readathon bingo, mistaken identity.
There you go.
For sure. Yeah, so that was a whole I don't know, whole different set of emotions now that we're experiencing in the book. And like a whiplash moment, which I'm sure, they did a good job. She did a good job of also showing like how Leslie is like. It takes Leslie a while to just like wrap her head around like what, like the reality of this, what it means for her, how it impacts her life now. Like when she comes back, she's just like still like just like blank face, so like in shock, basically.
Yeah, because it doesn't really feel real. You know, to her. So
yeah, I guess really until because we hear that George's sister, I think, came and picked him up in Montreal, that they were able to contact her. So it was probably just really until then that she's like, oh my gosh, like this is this is real. Sock says, made me think of Walter Penrose. I felt like Dick was going to smell burnt toast during the surgery. Yeah, like it wouldn't be totally out of place for him to die in surgery, because again, that kind of stuff happens. So it's just
and that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, you know, a surgery going on.
So there's so much happening. So we have that whole thing, and then afterwards we do see that Anne eventually gives birth again, this time to a very healthy baby boy. Her labor is much easier this time, and he's named James Matthew after Captain Jim and Matthew Cuthbert.
I loved his name. I was like, oh my god, it's so perfect.
Yeah. I did think it was interesting though that Matthew wasn't the first name.
Yeah.
Because we love Captain Jim, and so does Anne, but at the same time, like Matthew meant more.
Right.
But I don't know. But whatever. That's okay. His name's still there. They're still two very good names. But yeah, so this time it's a much happier occasion. But I did like though how Anne does talk about someone mentions to her like, oh, now like this is your oldest, so this can replace Joyce. And Anne's like, no, like no one ever replaces Joy. Like no one ever replaces her. Which is so true, especially I'm sure for those who have lost children. Like it's
it's not a replacement.
You don't replace. So so I did like how Ella Montgomery like acknowledged that reality, because it's like, yes, this is a happy occasion, but like there's gonna be sadness in this occasion for Anne too, just like with anything in life.
I thought it was well done.
I think Lisa says, I think it sounds better as James Matthew James. Yeah, maybe.
Well, and he goes by the nickname of Jem, so it's kind of like, I mean, I don't know why that matters to the author, but maybe she had like a particular nickname in mind, and I don't know. But
so we're sort of near the end of the book now, but Owen returns now because I keep saying it's Cordelia, right?
Cornelia?
Cornelia. See, I keep getting it mixed up now, and they even Anne mentions this in the book too. I keep getting mixed up with what Anne wanted to call herself before, Cordelia or Cornelia, and I keep forgetting which one is which now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Miss Cornelia.
Cornelia. Okay.
I'm coming through. Yes, Cornelia, Miss Cornelia Bryant. Yes.
Because Anne at one point says, "Oh, that's almost like what I wanted to call myself, Cordelia," and so now I can't keep the two straight. So Miss Cornelia and Anne just casually mentioned to Owen as they're writing, "By the way, Leslie's free now." And just see what happens. But don't tell Leslie he's coming, because otherwise she'll freak out and leave.
Yeah.
But Owen returns and officially starts courting Leslie. And
so exciting.
Yeah. And also, as you mentioned earlier, now he starts writing Captain Jim's life book in earnest now. And he sort of really sees the potential of what Captain Jim's stories and his ability as an author, what they can do together. And and I like too how like Owen is like consulting with Jim on different things and really making Jim part of the whole process and being a real like co-author, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, so we have that happening. I'm kind of, I don't know, I just have like the last little ties up of the book going. So if I'm going too quickly, please stop me if people want to comment, because I know there's like a lot happening for different people, and it's just like, oh, this is happening to this person. They're doing this, they're doing that. So I just want to make sure I get to everything. But then we also have that Miss Cornelia is, shocker, getting married. Yes. That's a whole thing.
I just got to that chapter. I was like, I'm going to wait. I think she's going to talk about it. Yes. Yep. It's Miss Cornelia makes a startling announcement. Like, that's the title of the chapter.
Yes. Because it's so startling.
It is.
She's down on men at every single turn.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And she's like, by the way, I decided to get married. And I forget to whom. Let me
Marshall Elliott?
Right. So, side note also for Marshall Elliott, has had a shaggy long hair, big long beard, and then the different government party wins the election, so he can finally shave now, because he vowed he would not shave until they were in power, and it's been like 14 years. So he can finally shave, and now that he's finally shaved, Miss Cornelia's like, all right, I'll marry you now that you're not looking so like horrible.
Yeah.
So just
she's just funny.
Yeah, she's just so funny. Lisa says, after all the men hate. I know, right? That's why it's a startling announcement.
Yep.
No one expects it. But I'm happy for her. That's good. And then, of course, Leslie and Owen become engaged. Yay. And
I want Leslie to get her happily ever after.
Yeah, and I don't think I wrote this down, but Leslie and Owen end up keeping the House of Dreams so that they'll use it to like come back or whatever as a summer home or something like that. But now at least like Anne and us can rest easy that the House of Dreams will be kept and protected and not, as Anne says, she's like, I don't want my house to like be run down by someone horrible and like ruined and
that was so real. That was like, I was like, that is very relatable. You want to know that the place that you love is like well taken care of. Yeah,
and like appreciated by someone, the next person. And it's cool too how like it's sort of going back into the family. It's back to Owen. He's of the family who originally built it, so it's going back to its original.
Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah. Sock says, oh yeah, and Susan's like, I never said anything bad about men. Where's their sugar? Yeah, Cornelia, I think you mean. Yeah, Cornelia's like, I didn't say anything bad about men. They're fine. They're fine. Anyway. where Susan Sugar I meant. Oops, yeah. But we know what you meant. Yeah. Yeah. Miss Cornelia is like, acts as if it's totally normal, and everyone else is like, what? What? But, and then of course, the life book is finished, and Captain Jim reads it all in one night, and finally passes away the next morning at the sunrise, just like he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So he got to finally see his life's dream come to fruition, and got to finally see his life book published, and then he passes away peacefully
in
the morning, like he wanted.
It's so sad because obviously, you know, I loved Captain Jim.
Yeah.
But I just thought, you know, sometimes in Anne books, like things wrap up a little too neatly, but I don't even care. Like, I'm just glad. I'm just happy. Like, let me have my little perfect, like, bow tied so nicely. Like, it's just feel good. And it made me so happy for Captain Jim. Like, he got to see, like, his lifelong wish come true. And, like, what a way to go out. You know what I mean? Like, that's...
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, well, it's like a bittersweet moment because it's like you're sad he's gone, but like it was such a beautiful way to go. It's funny though that you say that like all the Anne books end like very like neatly wrapped up in a bow, because I was about to mention that I think every book ends with a death at the end.
Yeah.
There's always at least one death per book.
Well, that is true.
So, but yeah. But anyway, I did also, oh wait, there's a comment here. Whoops. She was like, Cornelia is terrible to men. I'm not. What? Oh, right. Why is Cornelia right? Susan. That's right. Yes. Yeah. Susan is like, Cornelia gets a man and hates all men, but she gets a man. What about me? I love men. Like,
that was funny.
I have a husband? Yes. Susan. Yes. Yeah. We didn't really touch on her, but yeah, Susan was great with helping Anne. But back to Captain Jim, I did want to read, I was trying to type it out, but it was too big for you. But I wanted to read this quote that stood out to me of him, that it was sort of like his final blessing, sort of the final thing he says to Anne and Leslie, like when they drop off the book for him the night before. He says, happiness for you all, though mind you, I reckon you'll have your trouble and worries and sorrows too. They're bound to come, and no house, whether it's a palace or a little house of dreams, can bar 'em out. But they won't get the better of you if you face them together with love and trust. You can weather any storm with them too, for compass and pilot. And it just, I don't know, that really stood out to me.
Good.
That is on my edition. It's page 216 for my version.
But, okay. I was like,
yeah, that I wrote down because I really like that, because that's sort of his, in a way, it's like his final blessing on Anne and Leslie, that like, like, you know, life will throw a lot of stuff at you, but you guys can, as long as you have love and trust, you'll face it and weather anything.
Yeah. So good.
So good. Yeah, and then just to finish off the book, we have Anne and Gilbert. So Gilbert tells Anne that, oh, so-and-so's house is up for sale across the harbor. And you know, you love that house, Anne, and it's a lot bigger because, you know, at this point now with their new baby, and because they were only in like a small little cottage almost, but that things are starting to get cramped. And Gilbert says, hey, like, this is a really good opportunity and sort of really good, you know, price and time to do this. Like, this has come up. We need to jump on this. And even though Anne doesn't want to leave her house of dreams, she goes around and says bye to the house, basically. But she does realize that they need the bigger house, the bigger space eventually for their growing family, but also they need to be closer for Gilbert's work. They need to be more in town. But yeah, so we have Anne, them saying goodbye to the house at the very end of the book, and that's how we close out the book.
Which
Um,
so good.
yeah,
It just,
and
like I said, wraps up so nicely,
Yes, yeah, in that sense, yeah. And then, yeah, just to end off, I guess, if anyone wanted to talk about any favorite moments or scenes or chapters from the book that we haven't touched on or that we already talked about, but you want to talk about again, please let us know. Because yeah, there was so much happening in this book, but for me at least, like it was all so good. There was so much growth for Anne. There was so much healing for so many of the characters. I think for Leslie especially. Just yeah.
I liked how, I don't know if it was my favorite moment, but it was a moment that stuck out to me, is like how as soon as Anne saw Leslie, she like knew she was a kindred spirit. She was like, "Oh, I need to find out who that most beautiful girl is." And
the one
like,
who's looking at me like she hates me. I want to be her friend.
yeah, I want to be her friend. So,
yeah.
yes, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I would say that I think their friendship was probably my favorite part of the book. Because it felt like a very real adult friendship, where they got to talk to each other about the things that were like really weighing on them. Like Leslie was like, to Anne at one point, like, "I hated you."
Yeah.
And Anne was like, "I know." And Leslie was like, how do you not want to be my friend? Like, I don't understand, And so I just,
yeah,
the
I
whole
think
friendship
Anne,
was just really good.
yeah, and I think Anne mentions that at some point that like she's had other friends in the past and other, like really good friends, like her college friends and stuff, but she was like Leslie's friendship is different because it's built on very raw adult problems in a way, very raw emotions. And it forms this deeper bond in a way. Like we see like what happens basically after Joy dies. Like it's built on something much deeper. Sock says Anne likes prickly people. Yes, she does. But Anne found it a challenge to like Leslie, like because Anne kept trying and Leslie was very like pushing her away. And I think it was good though for Anne to have someone who's not going to right away, fall at her feet and fall in love with her, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But wait, here's my. Oops, hold on. There we go. Okay. Press the timer button and it starts.
Anyway. Oh no, the dread timer.
Yeah, but yeah, like one of my favorite moments was like the quote I read from Captain Jim, because I felt like it really summed up the book, that you're gonna have so many experience so many things in life, whether it's like happiness or sorrow, and no matter where you live, you're never gonna be exempt from that, even in your perfect house of dreams. But you can get through it with like the people around you, which was very poignant.
There's always such good like life advice in these books, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, one thing that just came to mind now, very small, but we did at least see that the Avonlea crew came for Christmas. That I totally forgot about that Marilla and Flynn and Davy and Dora, who are grown up now,
I know.
Dora has a bow. Like, what?
Oh yeah, that was so funny. Anne was like, "I can't believe Dora has a bow," and Gilbert was like, "We were her age, you know what I mean? Like
16, 17 or something like that."
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel so old. It's like, I know.
I was like, same, man.
Yeah. Sock says, there has to be a marriage, a birth, and a death. Yep, that was a cool line as well. And now Green Gables has, I don't know, completed all three.
Yeah.
Rilla's house, yeah.
House of Dreams almost did. If only we had seen Leslie and Owen get married there.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been nice.
That would have been cool. That
But
would have
that's
been very,
okay.
very full circle.
I'll just put that in my mind. We'll just pretend because they still have the house. So we'll just maybe in a future book, maybe they will get married. I don't know what happens in book 6, and we'll get to see it. So
I thought they already mentioned that they were married at the end.
Oh, did they already get married? I couldn't remember if it was like
I thought it at least mentioned, maybe not. Maybe it just said that they're engaged. But anyways, speaking of book 6, though, we will be doing Anne of Ingleside.
Oh, yeah, let me see your cover.
Hold on, I gotta take this blur off because it's not liking the book cover. So this is mine. So Anne of Ingleside. So we have Anne as a mother now.
Yeah.
So this book is 15 years later, actually. So this jumps ahead a lot. Yeah. So on the back, it says that on the back of mine. So Anne is now a mother of 5, and she presides over a happy, lively home. Mrs. Doctor, as she's called, for some 15 years. Anne suddenly began to worry that perhaps her adored Gilbert no longer loved her. But how could he not? After all, she may have been older, but she was still the lively, irreplaceable redhead, the wonderful Anne of Green Gables grown up. So that's what the back of mine says. Obviously, Gilbert still loves her.
Obviously.
But
I'm pretty sure that's what mine says too. Because I read it the other day.
Okay. And
it sounds familiar.
I don't remember for sure if Ingleside is what the town on the other side of the harbor was called that they moved across, or if we find out if they moved again.
They moved somewhere else.
But yeah, so that will be our book for March. And crazy. Yeah, it is. It is. So I know we can figure out the March time, but I kind of like the weekday.
Yeah,
night.
This is nice.
It seems, I don't know, I was going to say it seems other people like that, but the poll, shocker, was a tie. as we all love to do in this our little community here. We love a good tie. So yeah, and then Emily, you'll be hosting this one, right?
Yep.
And then I'll be doing
the panel, and then we'll post in the Discord when we have the date and time. But
official, but probably near the end of the month, like on another weeknight like this, most likely. Seems to work. So we'll be doing that. I'll be doing book 7, and then Emily will finish us off with book 8. I started, and you will finish.
Yes, I know, it's crazy.
Already sort of almost getting there, and
I know.
Yeah. Lisa says there's less of a chance I'll have family obligations on a weeknight. Excellent. Yeah, that's what I started to get the sense of that. Somehow weeknights might be working better. Yeah. So I if you're okay with that, Emily, I think we might just try another weeknight as well.
Yep, I think that'll work.
But yeah, we'll post the official details in the Honey Hollow Discord as well. And and then if anyone hasn't seen already, I did make a playlist for all of our Anne shows so far, so that you can find them all in one place or catch up if you need to, or whatever you want to do. So this one should also be added to that as well. Yeah, I have kept you all long enough. If there's
hosting.
Anything else, any final thoughts, but no problem. Thanks for co-hosting with me, and because it's very nice to not do this alone. you always bring like wonderful insight and thoughts into our discussion. So I appreciate it so much.
I've had such a fun time.
Yeah,
it's been nice to have the series as like a grounding. over the past like few months. So, because
nice.
I probably wouldn't have read the whole series if I didn't have, you know, the standing appointment of a book club. But like I've been loving it. You know, it's like I almost need that in order to read it. So it's been
yeah, good. I'm glad. Sock says, thanks, town librarians. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Lisa says, have a great night, everyone. Have a great night, too. We will see you next month, and we hope you all have a good night. Bye, everyone.
Talk to you later. Bye, guys.